Hi everyone, it's Painting at Dawn. We're back with another series. Today we're going to do a time lapse of this painting here, Meadow Crossing. It's the first in our 3-part mountain path series. This collection follows a journey through the same landscape. Each piece is going to represent a different moment along the path. Today's painting is called Meadow Crossing, which is going to be a walk through an open meadow where the path begins to unfold. From there, the journey will continue towards a gentle riverbend and then finally end in a quiet clearing overlooking a lake and mountain scene. So here I'm just getting a underpainting down, getting a layout as well as a color scheme. In the background, I'm going to start a bit more light, and as I go more towards the foreground, it's going to get darker, adding some pine trees, some bushes, and a little bit of mist in the background. And then I'm going to add some trees right there in the middle to get that depth. Adding some grass, it's going to start out light, and as it gets closer to us, it's going to get darker. Same thing with the path here. It's going to start out a little lighter and it's going to get darker. The edges of the path are going to be more dark because they're going to hit a bit more shadows. And in the middle, it's going to be a little bit lighter because they're going to catch more light. So I'm just going to keep lightening it until I'm happy with it right there in the middle. When we add lights, it takes away some of the contrast, so I'm going to go back in with some darks to really give it that detail. With the trees, I do like to add the dark portions kind of solid, and then I'll go back in and add some lights to touch up the detail. The grass next to the trees is going to be probably the darkest grass that we're going to have because it's going to be shadowed by the trees. And then we'll add some rocks. At the bottom of the rocks will be the darkest portions, and then as we get up to the top of the rocks will be the lighter portions of the rocks, because that's where it's going to hit the most light. There's some blank canvas between my tree line and my skyline. So I'm going to go back through and just touch up the sky, add some more clouds, and then blend them out. Everything in the background is going to be more blended, and as we get closer to the foreground, we're going to add more detail. When I blend, I like to use a soft, dry, fluffy brush and dry it in between my blending. Now I'm going to start adding some shape to these pine trees. But keep in mind, the background pine trees are going to be a little bit more blended, and then the foreground's more detailed. There's a little bit of mist at the bottom of those pine trees to just add some depth. And we will be kind of going over these pine trees with the foreground trees, but I like to layer. Since I'm a self-taught artist, sometimes I struggle a bit with technique. And there is an artist, Michael James Smith. He is a realism painter, and he has a tutorial on how he does his pine trees that really helped me with the foreground trees. So I'll kind of talk through what helped me with that when we get to those. But I'm just going to finish up these background pine trees and add some highlights to these bushes. And keep in mind, this is a meadow, so we're going to add some daisies in here. The background daisies are basically just going to be dots blended in, and as we get closer, you'll see the detail. For the pine trees, he basically said that you want a solid color, and then you're going to add a dark shade of color that you're using and do a stippling technique to create leafy clusters. For these specific pine trees, the foreground pine trees had a lot of branches, so I went ahead and added those. And then he said if you take a fan brush and kind of use the tip of it and go dark portions of the leaves, and then add in lighter ones with that same fan brush, and it worked like a charm. Moving down to the bushes, I'm going to add the darker portions on the bottom of the bushes and the lighter portions on the top of the bushes. I'm also going to add the dark portions on the grass as well. I'm going to start utilizing that fan brush to get that branch appearance. And then I found this old worn splayed brush that was perfect for grass. And I started with the dark grass, and then I just layered on top of it, getting lighter and lighter, as well as starting with those rocks, getting the darker edges on the bottoms and going lighter on the tops. And those rocks are going to have some cracks in them, so I'm going to add the darker portions where those cracks are and then kind of highlight on top of that. I love how adding the lighter layers of the grass makes it feel so fluffy and detailed and add so much depth. And then I'm going to go in and add the stems of the daisies. I didn't record all of the daisy paintings. I'm so sorry. I hit record, I swear, it just didn't record. But in the end, I'll show you exactly how it looks. And here we are, Meadow Crossing, finished. If you're interested, I do have prints available on my Etsy shop, link in my bio, and don't miss part 2, Riverbend.